What's happening, everyone? Al Siebes here. And if you watched yesterday, we are down to the last week of this stimulus check being decided. And we're going to talk about what's going on with that. We're going to get some input from Kevin O'Leary and react to what he has to say about it. But I'm telling you right now, we are in an emergency situation. This isn't just a relief situation. This is an emergency relief situation. We've got people in line for food like we haven't seen in a long, long time. We've got people who are unemployed, who've lost their jobs because their business has been shut down or because the service industry has pulled back so much, and they've worked 10, 20, 30 years and they've never seen anything like this, and they're on unemployment, and they've been given some additional payment through the CARES Act that's all expiring in the next few weeks here in December. We've got all these things going down with businesses being shut down. Restaurants here in California, up and down the coast, they can't serve diners inside or out. And even socially distanced outside diners can't be served. It's just not making sense. And these businesses are suffering, which means people are suffering. And so we need stimulus and we need emergency relief. And it's all going to be decided here in the next week. I'm going to talk about what Kevin has to say. I think his comments are fascinating. This is Kevin O'Leary from the Shark Tank. And I'm also going to look into what we think is going to come about as this unfolds. Let's dive in.
Slowdown adding fresh urgency to getting U.S. stimulus or financial aid passed in Congress.
All right, so here we go. The relief that people need is going to be decided in the next week. And I want to react to this input. I love what Kevin has to say on the subject. Let's dive in.
I think the best thing to do is exactly that, is to give stimulus checks directly to people and stop funding companies. The market has figured out who the winners and losers are. And the truth is, in my opinion, of the PPP, and I went through that whole process, a third of that money was wasted. What we need to do is take care of people right now, because
Yeah, wow. He's unpacking a lot right there, and I love it. First of all, let's get money to the people. Let's not try to pick the business and winners and losers like it's some sort of government Shark Tank episode. Let's get money to the people. And the economy is changing, and we need to pivot with it. Change is not bad. Change can be good. Listen to this.
Of digitization, a change. One of the reasons that the market is hitting new highs is it's figured out when this pandemic is over that we're going to have a much better economy using all of these tools that we use. The way you and I are talking together today.
Yeah, the market is becoming more and more digital. I mean, how many things did you order online in the past month? It's just you want a widget, you pick it out online, you pick it on Amazon, and it shows up at your door in a couple days. You can shop online like never before. The market is becoming more and more digital. Does that mean retail's dead? No, absolutely not. I'm going out to retail all the time. There's certain retail that you have to experience in person, whether that's food or clothing or little, artisan made things or whatever it's going to be. There is retail that you have to experience in person, and that's where retail's going. So the fact that Radio Shack is dead, I'm not sad about.
What? The 80s called. They want their store back.
It's time for a new Radio Shack.
Radio Shack, their time was over. They didn't jump online fast enough to ever compete. And so Radio Shack's gone. And for those of you who may not even know, it's like where you'd go to buy your widgets, your wires, all this stuff. Now it's gone. And the market is shifting. And that's okay.
We don't fly to see buyers anymore in our retail locations. We do it electronically, digitally. We're saving thousands of dollars in business travel. All of the tools we use, the DocuSigns, the CrowdStrikes, the Shopifys, these have made our businesses far more efficient. We've cut back 15% of the rent we use in headquarters. And in my companies, we budgeted Q1 and Q2, and we've slashed business travel by between 20 and 50% because we don't need it anymore. And so there you have an opportunity to, instead of making 15% pre-tax, you can make 18%.
Right. So business travel is changing. People don't need to travel as much in business, and that's okay. That might mean the airlines get pared back a bit, and that's okay. We don't need to bail them out.
So I'm not worried about business in America. I'm worried about people in America. So I'd much rather have a stimulus package that gives individual checks or extends unemployment benefits for the next 14 months.
Yes.
The idea that the government can pick winners and losers in businesses is clearly been demonstrated to be false. So I'd like to stop them from investing. Why do I want to bail out the shareholders of an airline when really it should go bankrupt? The middle name of airlines is bankruptcy.
I mean, can you imagine Shark Tank with the government being the judges? It's just not going to work. We don't want the government picking who's winning and who's losing. We want the marketplace. We want the people to pick which businesses are going to survive and thrive and which are not. Businesses that pivot, businesses that move with where the market's going are doing extremely well and will continue to, as long as we don't meddle with it too much.
They do it well every 7 to 10 years. Let them do it again to downsize, because I don't need them. The S&P doesn't need them. We don't need to fly everywhere anymore. We can do it on a Zoom call, or we don't have to go to an international location. We can meet the buyer online, and that's a great thing. So, you know, I want to take care of the flight attendants and the people who used to work at those airlines, but that's just one sector of the economy. Do I want to buy into a movie theater chain? No, it's going to zero, but that's okay. They're the buggy whips. Those are the old economy. We have a new digital economy coming that's going to be fantastic, and that's why the market's hitting new highs. Winners, losers. That's capitalism.
Yeah, it's okay. There was a commercial property that I was looking at many years ago, and it had a Blockbuster. For those of you that remember Blockbuster, those were the stores where there's videotapes all up on the wall, and you'd come in and pick out your videotape, what movie you were going to rent.
Nobody has the movie I want.
Hey, if it's on video, Blockbuster probably has it. I mean, we have over 10,000 videos.
Wow.
I'll watch these fast and have them back tomorrow, I promise. Relax. At Blockbuster, you can keep your videos for 3 evenings, so take home plenty. And use our 24-hour quick drop.
Do you have any children's videos?
Sure. Blockbuster's America's family video store. You know, we have more kids' videos than any place else. More movies, more nights, more fun.
Blockbuster Video. Wow, what a difference.
And Blockbuster, of course, died. Can you imagine if we tried to subsidize and keep Blockbuster alive? It was clear where the market was headed, and I didn't invest in that property because you know what? Blockbuster was in there and they were guaranteeing the lease on the property, and when they went under, that property became worth almost half of what it was when Blockbuster was in its prime and they were backing that lease, because now you've got a retail property sitting empty until a new concept came in. And that's exactly what happened. But it sat empty for many, many months. Sometimes they'll sit empty for years while a new concept's being developed and comes in and takes over and does well. And that's okay. That's how the market works. We pivot to the market. We pivot to people and the needs.
But people we got to care about.
Yeah, exactly. I'm behind you, Kevin. And Kevin's released a new app called Beanstalk. I have no relation to the app or any sponsor here, but it's a fantastic app from what I can tell that's got saving and investing and all kinds of integration. They're probably offering a special, year-end special on it. I think it's free for a few months or something like that. You might want to check that out. It's called Beanstalks. But props to him. I love his input here. I love what he's saying. I totally agree 100% with what he said. And I think that what we need to do is we need to think about people and care about people and get the money to the people to survive this financial winter storm. And we need to get educated. We also need to take up our own reins here and take control and pivot. We need to get educated. I educate on real estate. I educate on investing. I educate on creating cash flow, on creative ways for you to build income streams. And that is something that I would encourage you to get educated on. Now, build income streams. There's ways you can do that. Even if you don't own a property, there's ways you can build income streams with something like Airbnb or through renting out an RV or all kinds of these creative strategies that I use. Check out some of the other videos where I've talked about these topics. And if you want to learn more, I'm going to continue producing those. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll get you more information absolutely for free through YouTube. If you want to dig deeper into some of these topics, I'm going to release a course. Make sure you subscribe and you can dig into that. It'll be less the cost than 1 credit hour at a university. So it's going to be a good deal if you want to dig deeper on real estate investing and other hacks that we're doing to create cash flow. Thanks for being part of this. We look forward to seeing you on the next one. Pissed. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to stare at the lens. I'm telling you, I'm going to stare at that lens. I'm going to stare at the lens. I'm going to.